Well then. Oh, where's the volume level? There we go. Oh, happy Thursday. I am very tired after all my work this last week, but I've been working hard at trying to get my Duelist to cap level, and we are now down to the final 20%. Now, normally I start my rush when I hit the final 40%, but Duelist has proven to be somewhat challenging given it's got no AoE and no range, which is a little bit extra suffering. But I've been doing my best, and we're finally going to finish it. There is no way I'm letting this take another single day, and the next class I do is going to be one that's got AoE and range. That's a promise. Oh, I'm so tired of Duelist. So, as you can see, I have carefully moved up my model so you can see the experience bar. We are at 82.694%. So what that means is, with the current Dimensional Hall being active, you get about 5% experience just from Dimensional Hall. So really, I've only got 13% to actually grind out. And I am going to start with solos, because I've determined that it is much more efficient to use my experience items while running solos. Oh, not that one. While running solos, simply because I am way too slow on the party ones, because even though the bosses, if I can lock in and focus on them, are fine, my issue with the party modes is that there's so many mobs and I simply do not have AoE to handle them. At least not in a way that'll give me enough lifesteal to survive until I can hit them with the Dancing Ballast Song. So it'll be a relatively easy little grind here. I've got half an hour on my cards, meaning it's going to be half an hour of just grind, and I'll probably want to do I might do party anyway, but I'll probably want to focus on the solo modes first, make sure that I get through those while the cards are all active, and then once the cards are inactive, we'll head over to the Dimensional Hall and start doing daily quests for a little bit, and then we'll see where that takes us. It is what it is, though. The Duelist class, I think it's got a lot of potential, but it simply does not function well on a normal grind in dungeons for the fact that it's got no AoE or range. Not a fan. But after we finish this, we should already be at about 85% because I've got 3 solo runs here. Throw in a Dimensional Hall and that'll get us right to 90 or so. Now, if anything, I kind of feel bad for the fact that I ended up storing up proof of mission cards. I've got 32 proof of mission cards on this character, which you can only get from the Uber goodie bag when you're leveling up for the first time. And I saved them thinking, oh man, those are really rare, I need to save them for when it's worth it. And now here I am, cap level, theoretically about 3 hours to cap, and I've got 32 of the cards left. So I was too precious with my proof of missions, which is kind of sad because they would have been much better served speeding up this entire process from the start. 32 proof of mission. That is simply too many proof of mission. Now, in terms of buffs, I am kind of starting mid-buffs because the way I've been working on this character is by running just the solo dungeons when I'm home and on the resets to try and get as many in as possible. And I only log in the character when I'm actually running them. And I only do the Dimensional Hall or any daily quests once my cards have run out. But if we go over to detailed here, you'll see that I do have 507% bonus drop or bonus experience from monsters, which helps a lot. And basically I've got the Navia Feast, the gold one, a VIP sprite, and then the this one here, the Elite Guardian sprite as well, that you can get one per week. So combine that with one 24-hour crystal, you can get those in the LP store, a full set of the 4 experience cards, and you are good to go in terms of experience. You don't need anything else. You don't need like party members. You don't need any of the experience gear. You can get the cap without any of that. I mean, Navia Feast is a big part, though. I think the Feast is 100%. And I'm doing a miserable job of gathering up mobs like usual. But the thing about this dungeon is that while chasing down every individual mob like this is not very time efficient, you do want to get as many as you can because those mobs do like the heavy lifting in terms of your gaining experience. And it should be a little over 1% for each run with the amount of buffs that I've got. Oh man, I swear the next character I'm gonna do is gonna be like Stellar Sphere or something. Because I'm not doing another melee class. Technically my next closest is the nunchucks, but I mean I guess they've got pretty good AoE, just not range. I don't even know how nunchucks ended up being my highest leveled class. I don't remember grinding that much on them. Honestly, now that I think about it, I actually don't recall grinding at all on nunchucks, and yet somehow they made it all the way up the list when Stellar Sphere was right there. Although, I do have the S35 weapon on my nunchucks. I haven't decided. Although I really get tempted to try and do the, every time I log into my Ravager, I get tempted to do my Ravager, because the Ravager Fire Bounce, I really want to see what that does inside this dungeon, with proper gear. Bringing the crowd with us? Yes. And I'm just gonna eat up these heart bondings, because, I mean, I've got 200 of them, nothing better to do. So basically, I'm gonna gather up a bunch of mobs so you can see the one AoE attack this class has. Come on. Follow along, pals. And I am gathering up the valuable treasure chests, not because there's... I mean, when you put it that way, it doesn't look too bad. Like, that did hit a pretty decent amount of them. But it's gathering them up and then having to tank that when you aren't lifestealing anything. I suppose I do have to retract the no AoE, but it feels like no AoE. Probably incorporate ambient drone in here somewhere too, but it doesn't matter that much in solo mode where I'm not taking enough damage to die anyway. In 5 minutes. I did get started a little bit early. Ideally I would have started at a time when I would have been around a reset, but I didn't think that far ahead. this first group of mobs, I don't even know how much experience it is, if it's worth slowly picking them off here, but may as well. I used all the mastery cards too, and in the time it's taken me to do, well, basically about a level and a half, because that's when I started last time. I was actually below a level and a half, so in the time it took me to get from what, I think it was at like 130, or sorry, 30% on the level 138, when I finished the last stream, or was it 40%? Well, anyway, I had used books to bring my level up to 60, and so I've done almost 7 mastery levels just from these dungeon runs. From using all the mastery passes. I've got so many untradeable ones that I just haven't been using. I wish they stored nicely in the inventory. And I am using mouse and keyboard today instead of the controller. I figured for the Duelist, because it's a lot harder to actually lock in on the right mobs, especially when you're facing a boss and you don't have the leeway of being able to hit them with the AoEs. It's just a lot easier when you can carefully control what mob you're hitting, if it looks like I'm even being careful at all. And the reason I'm opening up all of those is because once the cards are finished, I do plan to sell them all off to the NPCs. I've made about 1,000 gold from these solo runs, which is not nothing. But the other option is, of course, to use it for fragments, which is what I do when I fill up too quickly and I'm not ready to go back to a store. Although I don't need to be that precious with those experience cards either, do I? Not really. That's the thing about disposable one-time use buff items like this, is you kind of end up saving them for when it's worth it, or when you really need them, but you always try and convince yourself, or at least I always convince myself, I don't really need it right now. And then they just end up sitting in my inventory for a couple years. I did that for years and years and years with all the manuals. Gosh, they started handing out the manuals and I just never touched them because I'm like, whoa, what if I really need it later? So finally I started actually using them, and now I've got the permanent holy, so... I still need to sell my other temporary, or my other permanent manual. Get me a little closer to my fusion manual. Right. Is that the last solo? Gosh, we're 10 minutes in and I already don't remember what we've done. Okay. Now, efficiency-wise, I gotta make a decision really quickly here. I think it'd be better to stick to doing solos, just because of how much time it takes me to get through one of those party modes. And I know the other dungeons aren't as efficient in terms of how much experience you'll get because they don't have anywhere near as many mobs. I also forgot that I've got a bunch of portal cards. Oh, I really like this song. Honestly, these premium cards are the one I've got the least of. Do I have any tradable ones? I do. I should double check how many of those I have. Also, I should have double checked how much experience I was going to get from this dungeon too. Probably the most boring gameplay possible with this class. Just walk up to them and right click. The only thing that would beat this would be wizard right click with 0 animation and instant kill because it doesn't play the animation if you hit kill it in one auto attack. Oh, I should have used a drop charm. That would have been really smart. Oh well. Probably too late now. If that was 1% or not. Okay, so 86.1, that's a nice even number. That'll give us a really good indicator of how much experience this one is. Literally the entire time I was grinding, I was doing just the other one around every reset I could between work. Technically, Cambo, I did start early by 5 minutes. But that's just because I was so raring to go. I had my coffee, I was here, I got everything open in time, and I thought, you know what, let's just go. My apologies, I'm sorry. Based on the amount of experience we got just from that first set there, that was only like 0.14%. I don't know if this will even be like 0.5% here. But we definitely got to kill at least all of the mobs. Huh. You know what? That's why something felt off. I set the stream to start for 10:30, and then I started at 9:30. I am so sorry. I forgot what time I was supposed to start stream at. I was just so ready to go. I made my coffee an hour early. Yeah, you know what? That's on me. That's on me. I was just so ready to get this character done that I could not even wait for the stream start time. My bad. If it helps, I've just been rambling about the game and how much I dislike this class for doing dungeons. Great class for like bosses, miserable class for mobs, and I just want it to be done. You can see I'm barely even using skills. I just want everything dead, and I don't care if it's boring or unflashy. And based on where we're at right now, legitimately this dungeon is half as much experience as the last one, so it's completely not worth running this one. You know what, it's fine if I talk to myself, because sometimes you just need to vent about a class in a way that isn't going to inconvenience anybody else. So now that I've got that all out of my system, I can focus on the important things, like the fact that I made a really nice coffee. How long to level up? Well, I'm at 86.6%. This dungeon should take me to 87%, which is the last of the level S35 solo dungeon. Actually, this is S30, isn't it? It's the last of the S30 dungeons. for solo mode, I have 15 minutes left on my experience card, so I'll probably head back over to the other S35 or S30 dungeon and do a party mode just to get the mobs in while I've got the cards on. Dimensional Hall is currently on bonus, so I'll be able to nab a little over 5% from that, so strictly speaking, we're already kind of at a 92% in the next 30 minutes. From there, once the cards are over, I'm gonna run some daily quests, and I don't really, because I haven't been doing daily quests, I've been really focused on just running the solo dungeon, the other one that gives you 1% per run. I don't know exactly how much experience the solo quest will give. I'm gonna say it should be completely doable to finish this within 2 to 3 hours, so not even really that long, but I've been known to massively underestimate it before. Dragon coins. Oh, well, that's what happens when no one's here to tell me. Actually, what happened was I turned up the music when I hit a particularly quiet song that I like. And that was also a particularly loud one. I think that should be better now, though. Now the plans for after I finish today, and kind of the reason why I just wanted to get it done, is not just because I dislike this class, it's also because I've gotten the second pass editing of the next radio show finished, and I'd like to do one more pass of the editing for that, and then ideally record today. I'm extremely proud of the short that I uploaded yesterday after work, so if you haven't had a chance to see it, I would love it if you were to take a look and see the, because I was pretty proud of that one. It's been something I've been waiting to say for a very long time. Yeah, we should probably head back. I'll grab the quest though, I may as well grab the quest this time. And I'd like to do 2 more shorts before the event, just kind of doing a couple more like little teases for what's coming up. Not the one about the braid. I really liked that one. And a lot of people saw it. The week after that, I posted one about glasses actually, and that one did not do so hot, but I also saw people saying there was a specific issue with YouTube Shorts the day that I uploaded it, so that's fun. I'm not going to blame it on that, I just think it wasn't quite as good. Then, yesterday I uploaded one about the hint that I've been dropping for a year about the design direction of my new model, which I'm very proud of. Oh, here, we do have an idol on. I guess we go with Guan Yu, right? Oh no, she's only 2-star. Oh right, this isn't solo mode. Whoops. Oh, I suppose the Navia Feast helps with the fighting too, eh? Frankly, if we can get to 90% in the dungeon before we even head to the Dimensional Hall, that would be like the dream here. So, because I'm not so good at shorts, I was trying a different style of editing than what I've done before. As you can probably tell, it was really different from what I'd done before. In that I was actually trying to edit a little bit more dynamically for video editing, which, yeah, not something that I know how to do. I was just kind of making my way through ideas as they came to mind. And that's a death. I got some feathers, so I'll use those once I get a little further in the dungeon. But in the meantime, we're just gonna take it nice and slow, kill every mob, extract every experience. But yeah, so I was trying to do some editing in a style that's like a little bit more vibrant than what I normally do. And I think what I've discovered is specific pieces of music from Genshin just seem to... because I use the same piece of background music. It seems to engage people in a certain way because those are really it's a really commonly used piece of music, and the algorithm picked those ones up extremely well for me. But even when I tried to use appropriate, well, what I thought was appropriate, maybe I've got a different idea of appropriate than the average person, but when I tried to pick appropriate music that was different, even though I felt like I was getting the same kind of style, it didn't perform as well. So I wonder how much of just being that stereotypical music that people are used to hearing helps with people sticking around and thus pushes it a little bit further. Shorts are a mystery to me, but it was really fun making it, and I had a lot of fun with the finally talking about something after a year. Oh gosh, I don't know what people are gonna think in the end, but I'm having a lot of fun. Throw in a somersault. Well, it wasn't a one-hit nuke, but it was pretty good. Mori no chisana restaurant? Oh gosh, what does it go? I don't really want to sing it while we've got the other music here. Donguri o tarotte no tsukimasen mori no chisana restaurant? Yeah, I know that one. It's a shame though, because I don't want to just use the same music every time, but then again, if the objective is that I want to share stuff with people, then I suppose I have to conform to the medium in a way that people will be actually subjected to viewing it or getting a chance to view it. Don't say it. Yeah, no, it's pretty bad. Not a fan of it. I mean, it's cute, but it's like not the kind of song you can listen to 100 times. Oh shoot, I forgot this isn't solo. It's a plague. Well, I suppose you could say that about any of the songs that people just tend to use, but I'm shocked at like how it feels like the song itself is enough to determine the fate to a certain extent. So I suppose what I'm saying is I've gained a certain amount of appreciation for why some people do just continually use the same repetitive song. But like I said, I'm trying to strike a balance between what I'd like to do and the fact that I would like to share what I'm working on with people and have it people actually get the chance to see it. Now that actually brings me to a really interesting statistic that I saw this morning. My channel views are almost at 500,000. And that's insane to me. Oh, the Wagashi shorts are beautiful. Like, Wagashi in general are gorgeous, so I totally get it. But, like, yeah, having to mute them all just because of the annoying song is, like, not ideal. Oh wow, that didn't hit very hard at all with 6 stacks. across my entire channel. 500,000 views across the entire channel for everything that I've ever uploaded. So, I know that's not that impressive for, like, some people. Some people get that in the first day on their videos, but, like, for me, that's like, holy moly. I might go out for a coffee to celebrate. When would I not go out for a coffee to celebrate, though? I went out for a coffee to celebrate when I finished editing the short on time. And I'll go out for a coffee to celebrate because I'm about to hit a gigantic milestone. It's pretty crazy. And I mean, we just passed another milestone number for subscribers as well, with 2,500. Although, if I'm being honest, I was sitting at work. One of my coworkers was asking me about the days that I marked off for, or I suppose I was talking about the days that I had marked off because we were talking about getting set blocks rather than just, normally I'm on call, but sometimes if somebody else has booked a week off, I'll just get their block. So we were talking about the block. And I was like, well, you know, I'm not going to be getting a block the week after next because I marked so many days off. And I was like, well, yeah, you know, I'm a streamer. So, like, you know, I got some stuff coming up. And she was like, oh, let's see your channel. And so I show her. And when she saw it was at 2,499. And she was like, 2,500, let's go. And she subscribed right there. That was really funny. And then I could celebrate. Alright. Lock in. I keep forgetting I'm not in solo mode after doing so many solos. And the tab targeting. I'm so used to just tab targeting everything, and it doesn't work here because if you tab target something too far away, they have to run over to it, and then you have time that you're not attacking, and then you take damage. I don't have an issue with my coworkers knowing about my YouTube channel. I don't exactly, like, make a point of being like, you should go to my YouTube channel, but they know that I do live streaming. And, thank you, Awo. I don't have a problem with them knowing. In fact, there's a certain amount of relief that comes from not needing to keep such a big part of my life completely secret. Like, when someone asks, you've marked the week off, what's up, going on vacation? It's like, no, I'm doing a streaming party thingy. Like, is that any worse or better than saying I'm just gonna sit at home and play video games? But yeah, I don't have an issue with that, and obviously it's not like I have completely hidden my physical appearance, like, in reality entirely, since, you know, I was on a ridiculously large YouTube channel locally. I still remember one of my friends online being like, I was scrolling shorts, and then there was you in a video from this big channel, and it completely knocked me out of my doom scroll, and it's like, yeah, that is a thing that I'm just gonna have to know is possible. So the idea of not being super careful or cautious about it, I'm fine. See, this is why this is so much less efficient. We're already at about 1 minute left on the card, so I should probably go to the boss. Honestly, yeah, we should probably head to the boss. At least knock out the boss while we're on the cards. Oh gosh, these guys aren't gonna kill me while I'm still trying to knock out the shield, right? Yeah, there we go, 88%. I was kind of hoping we could hit 90 well with the cards on, but it's fine, it's fine. Gotta get rid of the pest here. I prefer having this there. Now every once in a while I've got to reset my UI because something gets lost, but I can always forget to bring everything back to where it was. Again, that wasn't a very big hit considering it was a 6-stack battle summon. Well. I guess it depends whether all the extra hits crit or not. And they're all gone. Alright. But that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Don't take this as a guide for what to do with your weapon mastery. I'm not paying that much attention to it. Alright, we'll turn in this quest. Got experience book and pumpkin on. Okay, we are at 88.7. Oh gosh, so when they did the early maintenance, I was literally going around characters gathering up experience books for the purpose of bringing them all over to this character. I was about to do my dimensional haul, and that's when they took down the thing, as while I was still gathering up the experience books before going to do my dimensional haul. So if I had done my dimensional haul that day, I'd have been done here. I'd have already been done. This is so sad. But this should be about 5%. Oh, there's only 30 minutes left on my tomato ciabatta. I don't have any more. We got more petal waters, but no more ciabattas. It should be fine though. We'll have to clean up the inventory too, but... You know, it's funny, now that I'm thinking about it, I set the stream to start at 10:30 with the intention of doing the solos prior, or at 10:30 my time would be, what, 1:30 game time? Yeah, technically I wasn't even supposed to have started yet. Would have been 1:30 game time. So then I'd do the solos, have a little bit of time. That was more experience than I was expecting. That was like 6%, wasn't it? Gosh, I'd have 3% left if I had done that extra dimensional haul. Anyway, so like, if I had done the start at the time that I wanted, originally, 10:30, would have had time for some solos before the reset, then the reset, some more solos, and that right there would have been the extra 3% needed if I had done that dimensional haul. I could have been done. Hindsight is 20/20. If I was really that invested, I could have woken up super early. I think it's 3 a.m. is the reset. No, it would have been 5 a.m. game time. So that's 2 a.m. my time. If I was really that invested, I could have woken up at 2 a.m. What am I gonna do after? Well, after I finish getting this character to cap, I might just peace out immediately because I have... If you mean specifically today, I suppose I should clarify. Because I'd like to finish one more pass of the editing on the next radio show. Because ideally, I'd like to get another episode of the radio show out. Like this week, which is only a couple more days. Then, in terms of next class, I've got two choices, really. Stellar Saphir or Nunchuck. And then the long shot Ravager. And I'm leaning towards Stellar Saphir because after doing this, I kind of don't want to do another melee class right away. He's stream editing it. You know, that might be fun if I was better at editing. I'm not very good at editing. And I spend a lot of the time editing tweaking tiny settings and having a bad time. In the future, maybe it would be possible to do some kind of like editing live. But right now, I don't know that I have a setup that would work with that. Like if I was trying to record the voiceover, number one, that kind of spoils it. And number two, I don't know if I can use my microphone for the streaming at the same time as recording for another program. Right, I'm gonna need some more experience books. I think I got some in my warehouse here. I got 55 premium cards. I didn't need to be that worried about having only 8 more tradable ones. Alright, oh, we'll bring that along for once my ciabatta runs out, may as well. Oh, I see. I do have some cute free-to-use layouts that would be fun to pull up at some point, but I think I need a little bit more preparation for making sure that it works properly. You distract me. I don't know if that's a good idea. It just makes it take longer, but like I said, I don't know if that's a good idea for this time, but maybe I'll play around with it a bit and see if I can get it to work out. And you guys just distracted me enough right here. I need my experience books, which I know are in here somewhere. Because I bought way too many of them on another character. Oh, no, apparently not. They're not in there anymore. I must have taken them. That's fine. That's gotta be enough. I suppose I could work our way up with quests, but I prefer working the way down. Even though today is the day I don't like the quests here. In fact, today is the day I just don't like the quest, period. Probably be linking Eidolons too. Oh. 150. Maybe I should read the patch notes because I don't even know why I've got 150 links. Yeah, neither of those would give me extra links, right? Yeah, you don't have auto-link. I don't know what that's about. Actually, rather than a fireplace, I could leave a character auto-linking on screen, and you guys can watch for the items while I keep working. Let me know if I get anything good. Someone was talking about that before, like leave my stream on auto-linking while I'm at work. I don't think so. Like literally not even home, letting it auto-link on the live stream. You know, I wonder if that would work for writing. Like if I were to sit here, music playing, locked in on writing, and just making faces at my computer. Maybe not. Well, this is gonna sound kind of bad maybe, but way back in the day, when I was working from home because there was a global issue, I would leave my character... they actually let me log into the VMware from my home PC, and so I was working, legitimately working, but I would occasionally, and by that I mean basically every day, I would be fishing. I'd be fishing behind my work. I mean, obviously auto-fishing, you don't have to interact at all, it just goes. So it's not like I'm getting distracted and tabbing over to the game every 5 minutes or something. It was legitimately just, I'm working 12 hours and my game is fishing underneath it. So I didn't see a particular issue with it. But yeah, just... I think that was before auto-linking existed. Not huge on the idea of leaving my computer on to auto-link while I'm not there, like using the electricity when I'm literally not even using my computer. But if I'm already at my computer... It's not allowed. If it was my work PC, that'd be one thing. But they didn't give me a computer. They only had so many laptops because we weren't really prepared for having to work from home. I was just thinking that's quite pretty. Hold on. If it wasn't for all the stuff trying to kill me, this would be quite pretty. I'm not trying to upskirt you, Gaia, sorry. But yeah, they didn't have enough laptops, so when I said I have my own computer, IT was like, yeah, you seem like you're probably smart enough to not infect the network with something horrible on your PC. So they let me use the VMware on my own PC. It was actually kind of funny when I was leaving and they were like, and have you returned your laptop? And I'm like, I've never had a laptop this whole time. Because the managers had no idea that IT had done that. Then again, we did have some manager changes, so you can't really fault them for not knowing. But imagine if they had asked me to bring in my PC so they could check it. Fortunately, the VMware, as soon as they take away my account, it's not like I've got access anymore, but like, if they had actually wanted my PC to like make sure I wasn't holding any of the corporate secrets or something on it. Trucking company corporate secrets. It's a good lot. Wow, we're actually making great time. I figured like 2 to 3 hours, but we're already at like... We're already almost there. Hasn't even been an hour. Hey, Stas! Okay, our truckers did not have that kind of a schedule. I did not work for Amazon. Actually, you know what's funny? Did you hear about the guy? I believe it was in Europe, that went to the side of the road near one of the Amazon centers for the drivers and gathered up the bottles and then sold them as a fake energy drink on Amazon? No, Stas, this is not Impact. This is the regular Aura Kingdom. My current opinion on Impact is that it is not a good time. When I left, I already felt like free-to-play players were getting a massive short end of the stick because there was a ton of stuff that was available only in the cash shop, and it cycled so quickly, and the cap was going up so quickly that it was impossible to keep up as a free-to-play. And even when I did have the best endgame gear a free-to-play could have, like stuff that was accessible in-game, I still was only doing like 1% of boss damage because it actually told you in your party what a percent you were doing. I was in like the 1 to 2% range, even on the best a free-to-play player could conceivably have, since I was farming everything every day. Like there was a finite limit to what you could farm, and I was hitting it every day, and I still couldn't keep up. And Campbell, it was more of it wasn't, they were literally selling it as an energy drink, but they basically were doing it as like a, what do you call it? I don't want to say social experiment, but it has that kind of energy, right? Being like, awareness, I think is a better word to use here. And it was very clearly not labeled as an energy drink, but Amazon's auto-filtering put it in the energy drink category. You'd have to look more into it. I'm just recalling the story off the top of my head, so I'm sure I'm getting some kind of details wrong, but the fact that it happened is legit. But with regards to playing Aura Kingdom again, Staz, if you feel like it, can't hurt to just stick around a little bit and see what's up. I mean, it's as long as you're not planning on spending any money, there's no harm in just quick little download and pop by, right? Maria, hello! The way that I level up fast kind of depends on the level. So, 1 to 100. If you're using even some of the like really basic experience boosts that they give you in-game, you should be able to do pretty good. Bing, I'm so sorry. I made a mistake. I accidentally started... I thought I started 5 minutes early, but it turned out I started an hour and 5 minutes early, so that's on me. I apologize. I'm already at 94% here, so we're almost done, to be honest. That's on me. 100% my fault, so I'll be issuing my my apology video tomorrow. Not really. But yeah, at level 70 you want to focus on the main story quest, and if you're struggling with where to go and you don't have main story quest, right now is actually a really good time to do the dimensional halls, because the dimensional halls have a doubled experience. Should be for 2 more weeks. Yeah, 52 minutes. That, again, that is my bad. I made the mistake of being like... Okay, so I made my coffee an hour early. And then I was sitting at my desk, like, alright, I got my VTube studio open, I got OBS open, and we can start 5 minutes early. For every time that I start late, I then have to also start early, so I'm making up for a bunch of late starts all at once, right? And Staz, you played back when the cap was 90, so you've got a lot to experience. In that case, it might actually be kind of fun if you wanted to stop in and just kind of see what's up. So they adjusted the experience curve a lot, so you should be able to get right from level 1 all the way to 100 without doing much grinding. In fact, I personally have done it in about 11 hours. Straight. Live on stream. So there's proof of that. But, I mean, you don't have to go that hard. If you just kind of want to see what's new, all I mean to say by that is that you're not going to have to sit around and grind for hours and hours and hours in dungeons just to unlock the next map, theoretically. So for Maria's sake, 11 hours. Well, 11 hours is current speedrun winner, so if you want to beat my speedrun, please go for it. I feel like I'd be disqualified for having an account with many benefits that a newbie wouldn't have, so that's actually not a possible speedrun. But you know, someone told me they did it in like, what? I think they were being like, oh, it's easy, you could do it in like 6 hours, and I'm like, legitimately? How? Like, the quests take less things to kill than they used to. So, like, you can do quests faster, but there's still the matter of you have to walk from point A to point B and watch the scenes. There's legitimately so much time that you cannot reduce. There's no way to do it. So if somebody manages to do it in 6 hours, I will... Hats off to you. Campbell. Yeah, well, the temptation to do that has actually been in the back of my head for a while. But, like, I keep telling myself, no, I love myself too much to do that. Now, that being said, what class would I pick if I were doing that? Because when I did my scrub account, well, it says you're right in that the very end game is still very grindy. Like right now I'm grinding out 5% experience by doing daily quests that are giving me like a teeny little bit because I really want to finish this character. You're right that the game does get grindy in the end game, but if you just wanted to check in, if level 90 was where you finished off before, like I said, probably like, depending how much game you'd play, it's probably like even a month of really casual play at minimum. Like if you're just being casual, then I don't know. My personal opinion is if the game is free and you've got the time, I'd say it's worth it just because, again, it's free. They actually do a lot of free giveaways, like free stuff that Area could never. So like this month, and unfortunately I think you'd be too late to get it this month, but if you log in for 14 days, they are giving away Eidolons that used to be cash shop Eidolons. So I think if you just started now, you wouldn't be able to get to the Persephone one, but you would definitely get to Raphael. I hate to say it, but I have been thinking about possibly doing a brand new, completely fresh, not Scrub, because Scrub's been actually doing pretty darn good, but like a brand new, fresh account. All the way to cap in one suit. It's the move speed. The move speed is what really gets me, because no matter how you look at it, move speed is like the defining factor for how long it takes to do stuff in this game when you're trying to rush Awakening. Because it is just moving across the map that takes the time. Now, if I were to do it, yeah, I don't think very many Sky Towers go forward right now because there's really not that much value in running Sky Tower. And I have a tendency to work through all of the tower times anyway, so I don't get to go to them myself. Population is definitely quieter. And yes, Maria, I only play on the official server. I actually don't allow discussions of the private servers. I am a moderator for the official server, so that's part of the reason why. Make an exception and get a good mount. Just mail myself a nice mount and call that the one thing. I don't know. If I were to do it, I would definitely also allow myself to have a nice costume. Because one of the things I love a lot about this game is the nice costumes and stuff, so yeah. Oh, if you're on Impact, in terms of gaining experience, it's very different. So this is the old version, not Impact. So for Impact, I think you just gotta grind out the dungeons. Is there really any other way to do it? When did I start playing? Staz asks. Well, I started at open beta, first day. The first character I made was my wizard, Philosophia, who still exists. I've not deleted her. She's cap level now. Yeah, I started on the first day of open beta. I took about 2 years off around, gosh, I want to say 2015 to 2016. And then I came back. Oh, hello, Jacka. This is the original version. Oh. Yes, I started the stream an hour early and I'm sorry. Yeah, in Impact, I guess you just have to do the daily dungeons. There's really no other way to gain experience if you're out of main quest, right? Because you're limited on the number of dungeons you can run. And it resets per day, so there's just no option. So like in this version of Order Kingdom, this is the OG one. You have the ability to rerun dungeons every reset, and some of them reset 2 hours, some of them reset 3 hours, some of them reset 6 hours, some of them reset once per day, but you can rerun the dungeons if you come back after the reset. So Maria, the reason why it got removed from Steam is because the publishing rights transferred from Area back to the developer X-Legend. So X-Legend did not put this version back on Steam, but technically it is the same server that's been running since the start. Do I miss the golden days? You know what? For me, it's kind of like I inherently just enjoy the game. I sit back. Actually, I could be using a controller right now. What am I doing using my freaking keys like a loser? Hold on, where's my... Here we go. I just inherently enjoy playing the game. I find it relaxing. So... when you say, do you miss the golden days? Well, yeah, I kind of miss some of the friends that we had back in the day. Everybody that was hanging out and chilling with us. But I still just find the game enjoyable. I like, see, leading back, not so much on Duelist, but I do like running dungeons with ranged characters. And I think because I've got so much archive that's been built up since the game first came out, like, what was it, late or early 2014 or late 2013-ish that the game came out? Because I've been playing since then, I've got a lot of archive despite not having spent very much money on the game at all, and I actually don't spend any money at all anymore. Like, I don't feel massively driven to do the super high-end late-game stuff, like the trying to solo the party nightmares. I squeaked my way through almost all of the solo abysses. I think the only one I haven't managed was Lightning, or did I actually manage Lightning? They removed Gaia Sanctuary from Impact? I mean, I guess they made it so that you could get the Eidolons in regular dungeons, right? Oh, hey, Resonant. Actually, Stas, the way that Aura Kingdom worked is there was 6 servers. Area ran 4 language servers, the English, Spanish, German, and French. And then there was the Japanese server and the Taiwan server. So there was 6 total servers across Area, X-Legend, and I think Moonrabi owned the... Or did X-Legend transfer it to Moonrabi? I'm not entirely sure how the Japanese server server ownership was. That's a little bit beyond my expertise here. But the Area ran 4 servers for the 4 different languages. When X-Legend took over, X-Legend merged those 4 language servers that Area used to have. So right now, the 4 servers that used to be the 4 different global servers are all combined into one. And sadly, that also means that at that time, they made it so that you could no longer recover your character if you hadn't transferred over your account from Area/GameEco. So if you haven't played since the Area/GameEco times, unfortunately your characters are no longer recoverable. But man, it was when they first combined the servers for a little while there, it felt like the old days. It was pretty crazy. I actually ran a huge contest with a whole lot of people that pitched in to put together some rewards, and boy, we had fun. At least I had fun. Oh, hey, Burb. Yeah. I prefer the old Aura Kingdom, and that's why I'm still playing it, and I have uninstalled the Aura Kingdom Impact. Do you still get the coffee table and coffee PNG on V2? I don't know if I can afford to hire somebody to do some better art for the table. So the table and the coffee are probably going to stick around in their current form for a little while longer. This is a really, really niche problem, I suppose, but actually it's not. Anyone that doesn't live in the United States probably knows this suffering, but I paid my rigger half up front to secure a spot, and I'll have to pay them half afterwards. But the Canadian dollar is tanking, so by the time my rigger is finished and I have to pay them the rest of it, the cost of rigging is probably going to have gone up by about $200, $300. That's going to really suck, but it is what it is. I need the US dollar to tank. That's if that'll happen. Because I pay the commission is paid in US dollars, so my Canadian dollars are getting less and less valuable. Sad. Tartarus, that doesn't actually ring a bell, Stas. I don't know which server you would have been on back in the day. I played on Phoenix, I want to say. I'll be honest with you, I was never really involved with any of the main guilds because I was too busy just playing the game. In my guild, I ended up being the most active player because I just legitimately locked in and played a whole lot because I was having fun. So I ended up becoming the leader of my guild when the people that did own it were kind of done. Went into the supermarket, 4-pack of Pepsi changed from $3.50 to $3.85. Yeah, everything's price is going up, but it is kind of sad that legitimately, like, if I had just budgeted enough, like if I had budgeted only just barely enough to be able to afford this rigger, and then the price went up by $300, I would have been choked. Fortunately, I considered that at the time of the commission, so I'm okay, but like, it's still very sad. And I'm laughing because what else can I do? Awakened bosses. Yes, see, that's the other thing, is in this game, you can cut... unfortunately, Campbell, that's not really an option either. I suppose I could have asked to pay everything up front, but that's a bit of a liability on the rigger's hands, so... No, I'm just waiting to see what happens to the dollar. Can you imagine if I messaged them, hey, yeah, I know, can I pay the rest now? Because, like, Canadian dollar. That'd be kind of funny. I've been saving money religiously since I've had a job, so I'd like to not empty out my savings account. But I'm not in a bad position if it costs an extra $300. I won't be eating water for dinner for the next 3 weeks. Shuriken class, I don't recall exactly when that was. Hold on a second here. Let me ping now, my currency hurts. Shinobi. Okay, so that was before Lancer. You got some new classes to try. Starcaller's ridiculously strong. Stellar Saphir, I love that one. In fact, I think it's kind of what I always it is what I always recommend for new players right now. That might be... Gosh, if I were to do a brand new account, 1 to 100, I think I'd pick Stellar Sphere. Modern solved. More like rice and beans. Rice and beans every day for 3 weeks. Legitimately, right now, my main food is, I made a huge pot of, veggies and bean stew. Or soup, I suppose. Not stew. It's definitely more of a soup. And then I froze it, and I've been eating that for like a week now. Speaking of instant ramen, though, I made a post about the plans for the big event coming up at the end of July, and someone specifically recommended in terms of doing like a spicy challenge, I go for the buldak noodles. So I went to the local Asian grocery store, and they were only selling them in 6-packs. And I talked to one of my friends who also likes spicy noodles, and I was like, yo, these are like rated, like they're 1 spice level. So are these actually still spicy, or like, if I get these, am I gonna be like everyone's gonna call me a wimp? And my friend was like, yeah, no, they're 1 spice is good. You'll be fine with the 1 spice. And so I went to try it because I figured I should probably try the noodles ahead of time so that I'm not like blindsiding myself with spicy noodle hell on the day of. If that's 1 spice, I don't know what the hell 2 spices is supposed to be. Like 2 spice rating? Double spice rating? It was so freaking spicy. I literally felt like I was gonna die eating them. What, you mean trying it ahead of time? I needed to know if I'd die. So here's... Well, if it makes you feel better, I could buy a different flavor for it, because I got the carbonara ones that are a little bit silkier, so they've got some more cream in them. The other thing is that I've only eaten them with extra added cheese and mayo, so I'll omit those on the day of, and it'll actually probably be even spicier, right? But for my own sake, I had no choice but to try it in advance. Yes, the pink one. Tell me that's not, like, significantly less spicy than the other ones. The worst part is that it's really, really tasty. So I want to have more, but it's like tasty for 1 to 2 seconds, and then the spice hits you. Then the spice hits, and it's suffering. And my first instinct is have some more noodles, but the noodles just hurt. And so it becomes a loop of delicious, then hurt, then delicious, then hurt. It was a little on the expensive side, I'll admit. Again, Canadian prices be like that, but... Yes, it's got a little extra carbonara powder, so I assume that the carbonara powder with the creaminess does take away from the spice. It was really good, though. Like I said, I added cheese and mayo. So what you're saying is you're not going to let me put in the carbonara powder on the day of, right? Listen, my thought process was not I need to cheat and try it ahead of time. My thought process was if the single spice rating, like when I looked on their website, these ones were rated as one spice pepper. When their ratings go from 1 to 5, I thought to myself, well, I gotta make sure it's not like a wimp out one. I gotta make sure it's actually spicy. And again, they were really tasty. Just that without the spice would have been delicious. The other thing I saw on their website was they have like apparently like macaroni and cheese as well, which sounds interesting, like spicy macaroni and cheese. But I could not find that at any store locally. So it's probably too new and nobody stocks it. The red one is just suffering. Have you tried La Xiao? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. La Xiao? I'm not sure what that is. Hold on, let me Google something. That's not how you spell it. It's a snack made of wheat flour flavored with chili pepper. Chewy, spicy, and tangy. I wonder if I'd be able to find that at like a TNT supermarket or something. Hold on, let me add it to a notepad. I have not tried it, but it sounds suffering for someone who cannot handle spice. It's on the list. Although apparently everybody around here is a spice wimp, because when I tried to look at getting like various different peppers at my grocery store, we have jalapenos and bell peppers. And I think maybe red chilies. So that's a total of 3 peppers and only 2 of them are even spicy. Okay, you can have the pink one, but you gotta eat 1/3 of it without the red sauce. Okay, so we'll make it with only the red sauce and have some, and then I can add the regular stuff. As long as you admit that that is acceptable, considering that I had to try it before to make sure I wouldn't literally die on stream while eating it. I could have just not said anything. It is my integrity that leads me to the position where I would tell you that I tried it ahead of time to make sure I wouldn't die. And you know what? Thanks to that integrity, I missed out on an amazing deal. So, for the live stream, I am planning on doing a hand cam bit because I would like to build my Xenoblade Skill. Campbell, I'm not gonna eat anymore. So the rest of it will be for the stream and or after because it is really tasty. It's legitimately very tasty. So I'll save the rest of it for the stream or after. But yeah, like I'm gonna do a hand cam section. So what I was looking for was a way to use a phone camera on OBS, and it seems like there's applications where you can do that, where you can use a phone camera for the streaming directly to OBS. But if that's the case, I do need two phones, because I need one to operate my model, and then another phone to be the camera. So I messaged my sister, and I'm like, yo, sis, I know you have a new phone. Do you happen to still have your old one? And she was like, yeah, sure. I do have it. And I'm like, ooh, score. I said, well, how much would you be willing to let me use it for? And she's like, well, you could use it for free. And she was letting me know that she was thinking about taking it back to her phone company to like get a trade-in, not for a new phone, but like for just like, I think they do bill credit or something. So she was gonna do that because she already has her new phone, and I was like, okay. So how much would you want to lend it to me for a month prior to you taking it for the thing? And she's like, well, if you have a use for it, I'll just sell it to you for $30. So I told her to take a look at what they would actually offer her, because in my head, she's got an iPhone 14 as her old phone. And I'm like, there is no way they're only offering $30 for an iPhone 14. So, sure enough, not only were they willing to do a pretty good deal, they were also willing to offer her not just store or like bill credit, they were willing to give her $200. Like, and even that's not a great deal, but for her, it's like very safe. $200 in pocket from a company that she trusts isn't going to, like, she doesn't have to meet anybody, she doesn't have to go out somewhere and like sell it to a random person, just $200. And again, I think that's undervaluing it, but she's comfortable with it, and it's like, I was so close to getting it for 30. But I told her to double check because I knew that she would be so mad with me if she found out that she could have had it. I had way more for it. Don't start bidding on the phone now. Like I said, I have it in my possession. It's actually on my desk right now. But man, if the robo build goes well and it's a really nice setup, I may end up wanting to offer her $200 for it, because like even that's a really good deal for an iPhone 14. Actually, I should check out what the battery life is, because I doubt she used it very hard either. Hold on. What's the battery health on this thing? Interesting. When I searched for battery in the settings, nothing came up. Guess they put it under a different name now, eh? Battery health and charging. No, it's just a regular iPhone 14, not one of the Pros, not one of the Maxes, just a normal one, but... I mean, frankly, if I'm using it as a camera or as a driver for the VTube Studio, it doesn't need to have a good battery. Oh, hey, Yukinessa. And hey, Lousy. I've only got 2%, or a little bit less than 1%, or a little bit less than 2% to go, and you're only stopping by. That's sad. But yeah, no. If I'm just using it as a driver for the VTube Studio or as a camera, it'll be plugged in anyway, so I don't have to worry that much about the battery life. I'm just I could have had it for $30, but too much integrity for that. And yeah, in terms of keeping a keeping up with this particular game. What can I say? I just like it. Today was not a good day. You know what, Lousy? It's going to be a good day for me, so sending you all the best and take care. $55 last offer. Can you imagine if I sold it out and was like, well, dear sister, sorry, but I mailed it half across the world. I mean, frankly, from Canada to anywhere is half across the world, and I went to the wrong spot. Now, how the heck am I gonna rig up a phone above my desk? I feel like if I were to take my old microphone stand, that's like just a normal microphone stand with like a big long bar and a counterweight on the opposite side, if I were to beef up the counterweight and kind of just string the phone up to where the microphone was, I don't know if it'd be secure, but it'd be functional. Maybe. You know, absolute jerry-rig MacGyver freaking phone stand, because if I'm not going to keep it, I shouldn't buy anything to actually make it work long term. I should probably do the killing one first. Alright, so with slightly under or slightly over 1% left, frankly, once we hit 2 o'clock and we can get back into the dungeon, we're done. Although the question is, do I really want to use a full set of experience buffs when I'm only going to need 1%? Man, if I had just done that second dimensional hall, if I hadn't missed it to the maintenance. Ooh. I don't like how some of these tents have walls that go up to the sky. Does Apple still brick their old phone models? As far as I'm aware, not really. I have a, when I made an email address for the purpose of receiving emails related to things for YouTube, I knew that there was a non-zero chance that I would be getting things in that mail that would be malicious. So I actually use an old iPhone 6 for that. Kind of to act as not so much an air gap, but just as a gap between everything that's important to me. So I've got an iPhone 6 that's not logged into anything, and that's where I look at emails for my, that's where I look at any emails related to YouTube stuff, just to be on the safe side. And it functions. Nothing about it isn't working. The battery's not great, but it is an iPhone 6. That's solidly old. And it works. It runs smooth. Just not anything 3D. Crewneck Studio, how do I handle the class? I generally take it easy right up until my brain says it is time. And by taking it easy, I mean I run a lot of characters on a dimensional hall every day. So everybody gets just a really little bit of experience every single day. But once they get up to like, I'm going to say level S37 or so, that's when my brain starts being like, ooh, you're close. And maybe at that point I start trying to do about 5% per day. Then for this character, right at 38, my brain said, we need to finish this because I do not like melee classes. And yeah, from there it was, I just locked in, and I've been doing the Dimensional Hall and just solo dungeons, because the solo dungeon at the very end here, this very last one, the Red Rock Blood Palace, if you've got all the experience buffs on, you're gonna get over 1% experience just from running a solo. And I think you do get more if you run party mode, but this class is just very suffering for the mobs in party mode. Now, if I remember correctly, Silent Ancient Castle is, or that map is a really suffering set of quests for today, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's the one where you gotta kill like a bunch of the dudes around here that are really far apart. What about Gloomy Ridge? Is it good? Is Gloomy Ridge on Autopath Day, or I don't remember. Experience books. I actually went around to every single one of my characters and gathered up every single experience book I had and ate them. Ah, yes, this is Autopath Day. Wait, does that mean it's not the Suffering Day on the other map? I didn't think... No, let's do this one first. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of melee classes. So, the idea of finishing a melee class is very appealing. So, right around, I guess it was a week ago, I popped this here Navia Feast. Those are 12 hours worth of experience buff. And, I mean, there's a lot else going on here. But what I'm really interested in is the experience buff that it gives you. So I pumped my experience up to the cap, 500%, and then only logged in right around reset times so I could run as many solos of just the dungeon that gives you 1% per run. Once the really short experience buffs, the 1 hour ones, these cards, once they ran out, oh shoot, I should have been using a proof of mission. Look at that, I keep forgetting. Once the short experience buffs, these ones here that last an hour had run out, I would then go do my dimensional haul and maybe a couple little daily quests of the really quick ones. So I managed to get, from the time of our last live stream, you could take a look at what the experience was there. From there until today, that was literally all I did. So I probably used like maybe... Well, no, I know exactly how long it took me because this is 12 hours, meaning I've done about 6 hours worth, and that was just dungeons and dimensional halls, and it got me almost two levels worth. I guess 140, no, 170%ish. I think I finished either at 40% or 30% the last time. And hello, Timeless. How many characters do I have so far? I think 4, right? Maybe 5? Wizard, guns, bow, Starcaller, and Whipmaster. And if you notice anything about those, it's that all of them have range except Whipmaster. So as you can see, very much ranged hater. Secret Forest Lake. Another Autopath one. Almost there. Oh, honestly, if I stick with the quest, we're gonna finish before 2 o'clock. Hour and a half. Did not even take me 2 hours. I even said at the start I thought maybe 2 to 3 hours. Because I have a tendency to underestimate how long it'll take me to do something. But now we're doing good. I didn't even finish my coffee. I mean, I will finish my coffee. In fact, I'm gonna finish it right now. I made an iced coffee, and I was so proud of it. Because I put so much effort in. And I was so happy that I completely forgot that I was an hour early for the stream and I started it early. How hard is it to get Eidolons? Not very. So, I'm gonna take you over here to the loyalty shop. They have massively increased the number of Eidolons that are available using the in-game currency loyalty points. You're probably familiar with those. So as you can see, some of these, which were particularly challenging to farm, are now just straight up available. I don't even think Elizabeth is reasonably farmable. Qingniao is not in-game, so straight up, these are accessible now. It's a lot of LP, but they're completely accessible. They've been giving away free Eidolons every single month for like a year now, so even my scrub account that doesn't have much in the way of resources has a solid base of stuff, of like Eidolons. Do you have to, after you reach S5, is there another grind to reach S10? Yes. Once you've reached the S level classes, or S level, there is going to be a grind to get to each next map, because at that point they've no longer got really smooth curves that'll get you right to the next map. That being said, if you do not enjoy grinding, I'm not sure that this is, like, if you're not having fun in the dungeons, I'm not sure that this game is for you. Like, I know it's kind of a terrible thing to say, but if you don't enjoy the gameplay, I'm not sure that the gameplay, if the gameplay itself is not intrinsically enjoyable enough, like if you don't find it enjoyable to run the dungeons, I don't know. Oh, absolutely, you could. On my scrub account, the Eidolon I'm using as a main is one that's actually not in the LP store even. I am using... What's your face? Okay, well, sometimes I actually just use Grim because I use a flame class, and Grim's pretty darn good, but the Eidolon I use on my alt account, which is completely free to play, is Qingniao. Or no, sorry, this isn't Qingniao. My apologies. This is Ao Andon. I'm clearly tired. So, not available in, like, she doesn't spawn in game. She does not have any, not in the LP store. And yet my free-to-play account was able to get 4-star Ao Andon. Fire skill. If you enjoy grinding professions, then... yeah, I don't enjoy grinding professions, to be honest. Cooking makes me dizzy. Cooking makes me very dizzy in Honor Kingdom. Frankly, we could just go in and kill some mobs until we level up at this point. I could do one more quest, but... and I don't really want to store those, so we'll keep those. But I'm not going to bother with using the premium cards. I know it was overkill to use those cards, but those ones are from the LP store, so it's no biggie. What melee class would I recommend? I would recommend playing ranged. I don't like melee. A Ravager is great, but it's not like a super high-end class. So the good thing about Ravager is that it's got nice ranged skills. But if you want to play melee, then obviously you're not looking for ranged skills. So Starcaller might be a good bet because it is ridiculously strong. You can funnel... there we go, that's cap level. Yay! I don't want to finish this dungeon. I should finish the dungeon. Starcaller is ridiculously strong because you can basically like lock in all of your damage onto either Lightning or Holy, and most people do play Lightning, which has a little bit of range, but at core is a is still not exactly like a ranged class. The fact that all of your damage comes from the same element makes it extremely easy to just focus on lightning damage and have fun with that. Like, you don't need to split it over any other elements, and every benefit of lightning damage goes into all of your skills, since all of the damage skills are lightning. Same thing with Holy, if you do decide to play the Holy Starcaller, yeah? But the downside of that is that you have to play as the little kid, which there are less accessible costumes for the kiddos, just because obviously when you've got 10 years worth of regular costumes and only 4 or 5 years worth of the small body type costumes, there's just less. Not much you can do about that. Stretch. What other ones are there? The thing about Holy Sword is that it's a little bit... It's finicky as compared to, like, if you were to choose, for example, Lancer. Lancer does a really good job on the DPS. I like Hymn of Doom Lancer. Dark Lancer. Thank you, Yakuza! I am now cap level and I don't have to play this character anymore. I kid. But I'm cap level, so I'm done. But yeah, if you were starting on a brand new fresh account, I would say go Lancer, which is Dark. Dark is an easy element to build because there's good options in terms of like gear that is not super expensive. Lancer's another good one. Or Lancer, I just said Lancer. Starcaller is a little bit harder to recommend for new players, especially since it sticks you on the slightly less cohesive map, and you do have to play as the small body type. I don't recommend Dragon Nunchuck, it's very, very finicky. Guitar you cannot choose to play as when you first start because it is locked behind one character being awakened. You have to have one awakened character because Guitar starts at level 75. Reaper's ranged. Ronin, it's hard to recommend Ronin. Ronin's just not great. Duelist, obviously not a fan. I like Ravager, but what I like about Ravager is that it's basically a ranged class. You come into my stream and you ask me what... You ask me to play what is the best melee class, and my answer is I don't like melee. I'm sorry. Get rid of all this stuff. Oh shit, some of those are actually worth opening. Secret Forest ones are worth opening. Hold on. For Ravager... what am I doing here? For Ravager, I like Flame Ravager because I like the Flame Axe. What can I say? I'm very predictable. I don't think anyone still plays Ravager as Storm, though it's technically doable. I feel like nobody does that. And then your other option is basically to go physical, but I've never recommend physical for new players because whereas there's very easy, accessible ways to get like old archives for elements, there's no old archives for physical damage, and your weapon element does not affect physical damage. So secretly, whatever element your weapon is, your skills of that element are increased, have a bonus in damage, but that does not work for physical. So you're missing that straight off the bat. Then there's no trophies for physical damage. You're basically, it's just high-end, like ultra late game cash only accessories, and I don't have any of those, or late game eidolons, or late game archives, because the physical didn't exist as an element way back in the day, so it's hard to recommend physical for newer players. And people in the Discord give me crap every time I say it's expensive to do or like it's hard to do physical damage and it's not accessible for new players because it's expensive, and they're like, what do you mean it's expensive? And it's like, well, because every other element is cheaper. Physical manuals, so like these manuals are buff items that you get to reuse. Like they're active for 30 minutes and you can reuse them every 30 minutes. There's fancier ones. I don't have any of the fancy ones. Not even. Physical isn't really for PvP because, I mean, I suppose maybe people still have my defensive capabilities here. Yeah, I've got 15% reduced physical damage and not very much on the other elements, but then again, I'm not a PvP player, so this is probably all just from my, what do you call it? Holy chest. Frankly, I think the only people that really nuke in PvP right now are bards that, like, have infinite self-sustain. I'm bad at PvP though, so don't ask me about that. The only thing I know is that the element of your armor determines your character element, and then you do receive extra damage from people who have bonus damage against that element, so be careful about your armor in PvP. Frankly, I think the only choice is to go physical for your armor in PvP, because otherwise it is so much easier to get damage to the other elements. Like, I'm not even using decent gear, and I've got, like, look how much bonus damage I have to various elements without even using gear specifically oriented towards doing damage to those elements. Yeah. Anyway. Probably run with Gaia and then call it for the day. Or do we decide which class to do next? Kind of bothering me that I've got that notification there. What do you mean, wait? I was thinking I'm gonna do a Gaia. I'm not going anywhere immediately. Aura Kingdom is not on Steam. No, not Ravager. If I'm doing brand new character on a brand new account, 0 to cap, I'm probably gonna pick Stellar Saphir. If for no other reason, then that way I get to say Saphir a bajillion times and make everybody mad that I say Saphir wrong. It's my way of saying it. You can't make me change. I've got some trauma going on. Aura Kingdom is not on Steam. So if you'd like to play this version, you're gonna have to get it off of the developer's website. Or publisher, I suppose I should say, not developer. So I'll go ahead and just throw that link on there. That is the version that I currently play. The official global non-impact version. This is the same server that Area Games had, but it is now being run by the publisher, not Area. Alright. Gaia run. They ran a super good version of the Gaia bonus drops last time, and I got so many full keys on Scrub. Scrub was so happy. Yes, X Legend is the original publisher. And so if you, or I guess developer and publisher, so if you, way back in the day, Area had the global publishing rights for the, for everything, but X Legend actually still did the patches. X Legend was the one doing all of the work in terms of like the actual game itself. Area handled the publishing, the events, the, they made some choices with regards to like some items that they didn't release. They also kind of tweaked some of the way some of the events worked. Like even back when Area ran it, we had these nightmare dungeons that were permanent. And X Legend prefers to do those as temporary events on cycles with different rewards. So they have some differences, but the gameplay itself was the same. It was just their choices in terms of monetization and whatnot. And I would say we've actually got a slightly more generous setup than what X Legend probably would have wanted, but they did make a promise that they would keep some of the things that Area had in place. Like, I don't think... I know on the Japanese server, Paragon tables were like 1 per month. So I don't know exactly what X Legend is doing on the Taiwan server, because I actually haven't really paid that much attention, but I'm pretty sure they don't get multiple tables per week. Oh, Maria, you're going to join us on the cool server. Woohoo! My propaganda, getting people to join Aura Kingdom by streaming it is working. Yeah. I should have used a, I should have used an Azurian stone. Oh yeah, I forgot. I just want to show this off too. So Area didn't do a very good job of adding new costumes and stuff to the store very often, but X Legend's been adding them pretty consistently. There is nice stuff going on in the LP store here, where you can actually get really nice sets. Oh, I do really like that one. Oh, my LP is a little low. So I've been kind of slacking on my LP farming a bit. So I'll have to do some more work on LP farming before I actually lock in and start buying more costumes. But the fact that if you can see them in there and there's ones you like, they're not all 50,000 LP either. Like there's some really reasonably priced costumes that back in the day were super expensive. So you can make your character look cute. Because honestly, that's so much of the fun as well as the costumes. There's so many costumes in this game. Where am I even at in my... Okay, yeah, we did get the dragon coins earlier. I think I'm a little behind. In order to be on track for dragon points for the month, by the 15th I would need to have filled it once. And last month I definitely slacked, so I'm gonna probably have to do some serious grinding for dragon points this month again. It's all about priorities, right? So I want to get another episode of the radio show done this week, so I really should get on that. Oh, you know what? Don't even worry about it, because there's a costume that I spent somewhere in the range of 60,000 to 80,000 gold on way back in the day, and that is now a costume that is actually free in-game if you get lucky. It's a world boss drop. And I've literally gotten it from a world boss, so it's not like, oh, it'll never happen. It legitimately, I did get it as a world boss drop. So don't even worry about it. I've done crazy stuff for costumes too. Gosh, when I wanted the costume, and I'll show you which one it was. Hold on, let me get it here. They've added an archive for a costume, so it actually makes it a little easier to have a bajillion costumes. Where'd it go? I don't think it was that old, was it? No. Actually, it might be easier if I don't just flag it unowned. I bet you this is the one that you might have been talking about with the cattail. Oh no, it doesn't have a cattail. I thought it did. He's got the hat. Gosh, where is it? It can't be that old because it's a world boss drop now. Oh, this one I bet. Well, if you really like this costume, you might actually be able to get it free because I'm pretty sure you get a box that's got a regular, that's got that costume in it as part of your leveling up bonuses. Now, hold on a second. If we go back down here, the original kimonos, where are they hiding? Not that one? That's one of the older costumes that's got a tail that I can recall. Probably this kimono. Everybody loved that one back in the day. I still don't have it. Oh gosh, where is that? Cyberpunk! There we are. This is the costume that I spent way too much on. Is this version even dyed? No, I haven't even have I used it? No, not even dyed yet. Oh, there we go. That was the second one that I found. Hello, Master Gamer! Yeah, so I spent way too much on that back in the day because the only place... Oh, gosh. I started playing a bit on the Japanese server just to kind of get a picture of what was going on in the future, and I got the non-dyeable version of the Cyberpunk costume. And the only place it was in our version was in the database, so it hadn't been released yet. Then when it was released, it was only available as a really high Paragon, not Paragon, tiered spender. So that's where you had to spend money and then exchange to get the item as like a bonus for having spent money. So I had to basically buy it off a whale, and of course if it's an item like that, they're gonna want a pretty penny for it. But I wanted it so bad! And I did use it for a long time. But yes, of course immediately after you get something, it becomes widely accessible, right? That's the curse of wanting something. Achikun! Hello! It wasn't me. I was busy for hunting experience. So it could not have possibly been me that cursed the goats. Although they're buff goats right now, right? Buff goats. Plinko. I don't know, I think Plinko's been asleep. The one with the hood, is that in the LP store? It might be. No, I think if we're this far back, it wouldn't be there anymore. You'd probably have to find somebody selling it, but right now, if it hasn't been on Paragon in a while, it's pretty hard to find people selling specific costumes. One thing they have not updated much is the, Yeah, so technically accessible with 2,000 vouchers, but vouchers are a little on the expensive side, so I would not recommend saving up vouchers specifically for a costume like that, unless you have a very, very strong personal attachment to it. But then again, I do see that costume pop up now and then. It's gotta be somewhere. Wonder if it's in one of the bags. I know for a fact that the one with the tail is actually quite accessible, though. No worries, no worries. I'm basically done my experience for the day, right? Like, I've hit my cap level. I'm happy here. So I'm thinking as soon as I finish this Gaia run, considering we're now actually at the end of this piece of music as well, I'll probably just call it for the day. That way I can get on to working on the radio show. I got another inconvenient block at work, so I'll be doing another 6 days of work straight. That'll be Saturday to next... Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah. Saturday to Thursday next week I'll be working. So not a lot of time to get stuff done. So I gotta finish everything I want for next week by tomorrow. I suppose that's part of why I decided to start early. I thought it was 5 minutes early. I'm really sorry for starting an hour and 5 minutes early. That is 100% on me. I wasn't paying attention to the time, which is a shame. I bring shame on myself for starting that early, but you know, it is what it is. You can add me in game if you can find me, is what I would say, but I've got so many characters, it'll be a challenge to find me, or a challenge to know which character I'll be on at any given point. Aha. There. Once I eat all this experience, or LP actually, sorry, not experience. Oh yeah, a small thing. Once you're at cap level, if you use a quest experience buff, it will just stay in your bar forever until there's more level to do, because if you don't actually gain experience, even if you complete a quest, it just never vanishes. So you can curse yourself with a permanent item in your skill bar. There's no way to get rid of it. Anyway, since we have the opportunity, I'll come over here and show you my beautiful collection of characters. I wonder what order they're in now. Alright, so that is 6 total cap ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 at endgame. 2 kind of getting closer to endgame. Tragic Dusk, my little scythe here, she's the one that's gonna be getting into like the active play relatively soon. I used, this is the version of that costume that's actually been dyed and everything. So this is the one, this is actually the costume that I spent 80,000 approximately, somewhere between 60 to 80,000 on. Looks great with the bow, love it, 100%, totally worth it. I did a challenge-ish run with her. These cuties are all like on super early maps, but they've been eating experience books just to eat them up. And every class should be represented in an awakened character. So when you say you want to add me as a friend, there's a lot of me. Now that being said, I do think it is time to call it for the day. I'm going to have a proper breakfast since I'm going to have a proper lunch since it is almost lunchtime. Then I've got some video editing to do. So I appreciate the company while I was working on it. I'm sorry for starting an hour early like a fool who does not know how to read a clock. But I'm so glad I am done Duelist. If it didn't look so freaking cool, it would be even more of a shame, but yeah. Anyway, that's it for today. We shall see you guys next time, probably. Okay, so hopefully radio show. That is on a separate account though, so if you don't know about it, I guess surprised, I have a second account where I do the radio show. There should be another short on next Wednesday, provided that I do manage to get it done with all the work. And then the next actual stream will probably be on Friday next week, because I have a shift all the way from Saturday to next Thursday. So, it's going to be a bit, but we will catch you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks, mate. Audio.